I'm sitting here doing the dishes and having me a rant about value. This is my tap, just so you know. You are sitting on the windowsill over the sink, and I'm almost done. I was thinking, I was imagining myself trying to explain to someone that I'm broke. I don't know. I don't remember where it all started, but it started, the thinking, the rant starts with this statement. I have no intrinsic or extrinsic value outside of context. That is to say, if you're asking me what my value is, I must throw the question back on you and say to you that my value is determined by you, right here, right now. The only value I have, ever, is the value that I have in context with the person who wants to know my value. I don't value myself. I have no intrinsic or extrinsic value to me. I'm not worth something. I don't have a monetary value that the world can pin on. I have no, I'm definitely all more than I'm worth. My assets and all of that sort of thing. I'm definitely not worth anything economically. The pets that I care for, they get value from me. They see worth in me. I feed them, I care for them, they love me for it. And if there was some reason I couldn't adequately do that, people wouldn't step in and help me do that the way they would with a mother and children. They would say, find new homes for your animals. So it is understood, I can't say I agree, but it is understood that I am utterly replaceable in that. So I have no extrinsic value to them, or intrinsic. I got to stop using X and in because I haven't bothered to look it up to figure out exactly what it means. It has something to do with value. Intrinsic means that your value is inherent to who and what you are. Extrinsic value means that you have value in your position. That's the context value. My only value is in context and only here and now as me, and it is not something that I can't be replaced, is what I'm trying to argue. That I'm replaceable. You probably are too. All of us. More or less. There are some that most of us would say, no, nobody else could be what that person is, and that person is doing this thing that we all need, so we can't do without it, and no one else can do it. But I don't think I'm one of them. I don't think I'm a person who's irreplaceable, whose contribution is essential to the planet and the functioning of it. And so, where I want to take this conversation is the very idea that I have to have value. Yeah, I wanted to explain why I don't have value myself. I'm not capable of looking after myself. There's a lot of things I can do, but actually supporting myself and looking after myself isn't one of them. I'm not capable of giving myself a life worth living, actually. Under my own devices, life is extremely uncomfortable and unpleasant. So I do not value myself as value because myself isn't able to provide for me sufficient value to even not suffer. I need the help of others to do that. Have always needed the help of someone else to do that. And I don't even mean in terms of I need somebody to hire me or to pay me for things. I need somebody to actually earn the money because no one will hire me or pay me for things. And this is where this is what left me to that, well, I have no actual value because nobody will pay me for anything that comes from me. They will not pay me for my energy, which is in short supply these days anyway. They will not pay me for my talent. They will not pay me for my craft. They will not pay me for my company. I have, in 56 years, been utterly incapable of maintaining employment for no reasons I can comprehend. I'm not saying there's no reason. I'm saying I don't understand it. And I'm just going to simplify that explanation with autism. I'm just going to assume that it's an autistic problem. All the dishes are washed and I have to wipe. But here in this house, I have some value. I do things that need doing, like people who can't do it for themselves. So in that sense, I have value. replaceable value. You can find someone else to do what I do around here. But I want to ask you why I have to have value. That's what I want to ask. What is the function of value? Even the conversation, the discussion about it. Why are we required to have value? Are we required to have value because everything in our society is being nominalized, numerized, turned into accounting? Is it because our society is obsessed with accounting and with value and with ensuring that everything adds up? I think that's the problem. I don't have value. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to be useful. Listen. Either you're going to carry the whole flippin' population on your back as a wage earner, or you need to start accepting the bitter truth that we got to kill people. Yeah, you don't like that. Neither do I. Nobody likes that. That's why we carry our weaker. Because we're not into murder. It's really that simple. You either accept yourself as a society of murderers, or you help the people who have no value. And you don't have to have value, not because they might have value, not because they're going to have value, not because there's intrinsic value, but because you don't do murder. It's actually that simple. People shouldn't be called upon with this outrageously heavy expectation that they give value for their place on earth. They're simply here. There should not be a requirement that they justify being here. They are here. No justification required. And you have one of two choices as a society, as people, as persons who do have excess income. Either you become a society of murderers, and I suggest you sit around and talk about that a little more openly once in a while, or you become a society of caring people. Right now, we're in the middle. You are murdering people and pretending you didn't. You're murdering them through poverty, neglect, child abuse, addictions, all of the things attendant upon never having quite enough to get by and being miserable because of it. See, poor people are poor. What that means is their life is difficult, more difficult than yours, just at the most basic level of getting up and making breakfast. And it completely messes up everything else about their lives and results in an endless cycle of being miserable. Now, my mother used to say to me, if you want to be happy, you have to have money. If you don't have money, you don't deserve to be happy. You get to be miserable. Now, on a practical level, she's not wrong. Money is how you get happiness in this current society. If you don't have money, you don't get to be happy. We all see that and we know it's wrong. It's not how we want our world to be, is it? Because that is the same thing as being a society of murderers. Keeping people unhappy means that thing is driving me nuts. It's gone. The parrot. Keeping people unhappy to the point of dying young, on average, because it's so hard to survive like that, as our large impoverished populations do, and we're really seeing it now with the high percentage of them dying from this flu. It's the same thing as being a society of murderers, but it's twice as cruel as just popping them. Really. A lifetime spent struggling and feeling unworthy is worse than a gun to your head and you're done. So there's nothing compassionate about leaving people in poverty and not killing them. You are still being murderers, but now you're being sadistic, torturing murderers as a society by letting poverty continue to exist. Poverty is artificial. Poverty is not a necessity. Poverty is not a natural outcome of anything. Not person's character development, not a shortage of goods and products. It is created as a weapon to keep you in line by wealthy people who know damn well that they could solve poverty overnight. But they dare not, because then you will quit working for them, because they know that they're not treating you right for your work. Next time you see someone who's poor, I understand if if their various issues and diseases make them terrible company and someone you don't want in your house, but would you at least be nice to them? Just show them some respect. Give them your chicken. I don't know. Don't be so mean about it. There but for the grace of God. No. There but for the grace of oppression go you. You don't have to have value. I'm worthless. My value is determined by the person standing in front of me wanting to value me. And every single time they have and probably will continue to decide that I don't have enough worth, and they move on. If you're one of them, bye. Hope I never smell you later.